Hi, this session is on factorizing binomial factors. You may not have learned how to expand a binomial, and we're doing that later on in the year. But factorizing questions like this is actually pretty straightforward and pretty easy. Now, with these kind of questions, you notice that we have brackets, and it looks a little bit different. But remember, what we have in the brackets is just a number. For example, x plus 4, if x was just, say, 2, I'd have 2 plus 4, which is 6. It just happens to be that there's a plus separating x plus 4, but the brackets are there to say that they're sort of together. And you can see the same thing on this side. So just like with factorizing, do you notice the same thing on both sides? Well, we can see x plus 4 in one bracket and x plus 4 in the other are the same thing. So your first step is just take out x plus 4. There we go. All right, still keep the brackets around it. And because I've taken it out, it's now gone, okay? And I'm left with, even if I rub this out, you can see what we're left with a bit more clearly. What do I have left? Just 5 plus x. And the last thing you got to do is put a bracket around the 5 plus x, okay? And put it next to the x plus 4 in its own bracket. And you're done. That's all you have to do, okay? Now, this will make more sense if you know how to expand these binomials. They're called binomials because it's basically two brackets that we're expanding together. And there's an invisible times here. Now, we'll learn this, hopefully, you will learn this later on in the year. But to give you a head start, if you want to have a go, to expand a binomial, all you got to do is, starting with your x, you go x times a 5 and x times the x, okay? They all get a turn each. And then you go, once you've done that, you go 4 times a 5 and 4 times x, okay? So what we end up with is this. X times 5 is 5x. X times x, or positive x, is positive x squared. My x's are done, so now move on to my 4. 4 times 5 is positive 20. And 4 times x is positive 4x. It's all positive. And then simplify what you can. So I've got 5x here plus 4x, which is 9x. I'll put my, what we really do is we put our x squareds first. So I'll put my x squared first, because they're more x squareds. Then 5x plus 4x is plus 9x. And then we've got plus 20. And I have expanded my binomial. Now, it does look different to what we started off with, okay? It's not the same thing, but you can actually factorize this, okay, what we have down here, and put it into these two brackets. And we'll learn that later on in the year. But I just wanted to show you how to expand a binomial, just to have a head start. And it's pretty straightforward. You just get the first, in this case, x. X times 5, x times x, and then the 4 has a turn, 4 times 5 and 4 times x. Add them all together in this case, simplify, and you're done. With our next question, we have this expression here. So we can see what's in common. Well, x minus 1 is what's in common. So I take that out straight away. It's gone from that side, gone from there. And what is left? A and minus 3. So A, it just froze. Sorry, a minus 3. And of course, please put this in brackets. And we're done. And don't forget there's an invisible times here. And if you want to have a go at expanding this to keep practicing, please do. Remember, to expand this binomial, we go x times a, and then x times 3. And then this is a negative 1. So negative 1 times a, and negative 1 times, well, it's a negative 3. So be careful with your negatives and see what you get. Maybe compare with the person next to you. Now this one here, there'll be a similar question on your worksheet, and they're trying to trick you because they're actually left out some brackets. And if you have a look, we've got x plus 4 in this bracket, but we can see we have an x plus 4 over here, but there's no brackets. So you can just put brackets in around the x plus 4. You haven't changed anything. And now we can factorize this, but you must remember what's invisible in front of the bracket. If there's no number, it's always a 1. So sometimes you have brackets and no number. You have to remember there's a 1. And now I can take out x plus 4. So I've got x plus 4 as a common factor. Out it goes. And what am I left with? I'm left with 2 plus 1 in the other bracket. Now I'll put it in like this, 2 plus 1. But with this one, I can now simplify what's in my bracket. So I have now x plus 4. And then what's 2 plus 1? 2 plus 1 is just 3. So if I have this, you can leave it like this, but the proper way to write it is simply 3 bracket x plus 4. So we were able to simplify because we had 2 plus 1, which are just numbers. Sometimes it doesn't work like that, but in this case, that's all we had to do. Now here is something I want you to try. Just to make sure we've actually factorized this properly, if I expand what I started off with, so imagine I didn't cross this, cross this off. That was a bad idea. So we got, imagine I didn't cross anything off. If I had to expand this, 2 times x times and 2 times 4 plus, and here I just had, remember, we had just x plus 4. That was our, go back to the original question. If you expand this and simplify, we'll have 2x plus 8, so 2x plus 8, and then plus x and plus 4, okay? And down here, if I expand this, 3 times x and 3 times 4, I have 3x plus 12. Now, I can't simplify this any further, so if I simplify what I have up here, let's see if I get the same thing. Well, 2x plus x is 3x. I'll just squeeze it down here. So 2x plus x is 3x, and that's taken care of. And 8 plus 4 is 12. And you can see how we still have the same thing. But this one down here is factorized, and it's basically presented in a better way. And you may remember when we come to parabolas, so working with parabolas, these shapes here, factorizing is really important when it comes to parabolas. So keep that in mind. All right, so we're pretty much done. We'll try this question here. So once again, what do you see as a factor on both sides? I can see c plus 2. So I take that out in my brackets, c plus 2. So it's gone from there, gone from there. Now what is left over? Remember, there's an invisible 1 here. So I've got t minus 1 in my next bracket. And that's it. And I want you to expand this now, just to practice expanding. Okay, so if I expand this one, okay, and I expand this one down here, you should get the same answer. So let's have a quick look. To expand a binomial, there's an invisible times here. So we have c times t and c times minus 1, 2 times t and 2 times minus 1. Combine it all together and that's pretty much it. So c times t is just ct. C times a negative 1 is negative c. Positive 2 times t is positive 2t. Positive 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Simplify what you can. It looks like I can't simplify anything, so that would be my answer. What I want you to do now is expand this top one. You guys know how to expand these ones here. So expand the original question and see if you get the same thing as we got over here. Thank you.